You've been there and I've been there. We've all been there. You know, the day you get that phone call or that email inviting you to that interview for that job you apply for, that dream job, you're like, yes, yes, they're calling me for an interview. They're calling me for an interview. And they want you to come tomorrow. It's always the next day. I can't even say anything about it because I'm an HR professional. I've done that to lots of people. It's always, can you interview tomorrow? Can you interview the day after tomorrow? And you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear? What am I gonna tell my current employer so I can get off of work tomorrow? Where's the place at? And then you think, wait a minute, which position did I apply for? You totally forgot. You're like, did I recently apply for that? Did I apply for that a long time ago? What is the name of the job? What's the job description? So today we're going to talk about how to prepare for an interview. When you submit your application for a position, I tell this to people all the time and they're like, I never thought about that. Print the job description. Print the job description of each position that you apply to. That way, when you get that phone call or interview invite from the recruiter, you don't have to ask them for the job description or for the job title, because let me tell you from being in this field for over 10 years that that's not a good look. It's not a good look if you have to ask the recruiter, what position did I apply for? They're going to be like, you don't know what position you're interested in, and already that's not going to go well. So that would be my first recommendation. Print the job description as soon as you submit your application. The next thing would be to be in expectation. You've prepared your resume, and if you haven't, then you want to go watch my last video, Resume Must Have. You'll just click the I above to go check out that video. But you want to be prepared. You want to know, like, I'm submitting my application for this position, but I know they're going to call me for this job. I know they're going to call and ask me to interview. So go ahead and get 1 or 2 interview outfits together so the day you get that call to the interview, you're not stressing out about what you're going to wear. Go ahead and prepare. So now you're prepared. You know what you're going to wear. You know you have a great resume. You know you have the job description because you printed it. And you've already come up with your excuse of why you're not going to be at work tomorrow. And now you're ready to start thinking about the interview questions and preparation for that. So how do you do that? How do you prepare? Something that I learned along my journey and that I'm continuing to learn as I grow in my career. A notebook. Keep a notebook. I know you're like, what? A notebook? This is going to help me prepare for an interview? Yes. It's going to help you prepare if you prepare with a notebook months in advance, years in advance, okay? This is my notebook. I keep it with me, and I encourage you to do the same. Now, what are you going to do with this notebook? You're like, LaShanta, what? Why do I need a notebook to help me prepare for an interview? This notebook should go to work with you every day. Or it should stay at your job, in your desk, somewhere where you have access to it every day at work. It's easy to start complaining about work. It's easy to start complaining about all the additional duties and tasks and, oh, they keep adding so much onto me. They keep asking me to do so much. But if you keep a notebook and you list down each additional task that you've done, each additional duty that you've taken on, or responsibility or accomplishment that you've completed or goal that you've reached, and you jot down a note of when that happened and what you did and all the things that you're adding to your career, that you're adding to your knowledge, to your value, you can use this in your preparation for a job interview. So when you're getting ready to prepare for the interview, you're going to take the job description that you already have printed, and you're going to take your notebook, and anything that they list in the job description stating that this person will be responsible for X, Y, and Z, or this person will do X, Y, and Z, you're going to find an example of that in your notebook. A time when you've completed that task or duty, or a time when you solved a problem related to what they're stating on the job description. And the reason you're going to do that is because 9 times out of 10, the questions they're going to ask you in the interview will come from the job description they put together. If you give them examples from your notebook, that will help you, because I can't tell you, I have interviewed applicants all the way from the lowest position all the way up to executives, VPs, doctors, and above. I have interviewed those type of applicants. And it doesn't matter how long you've been in your career. It doesn't matter what your position title is. If you haven't taken the time to jot down the things that you accomplished, jot down the duties and the things that you do at work, when it comes to interviewing, this is what happens. Tell me about a time you completed a goal. They draw a blank, and it's because interviewing is so nerve-wracking, and I totally get that. I totally understand that it's nerve-wracking, but if you prepare, if you have a notebook, if you jotted down all those things that you're doing in addition to your day-to-day job task, it will help you grow in your career, and it'll help you be able to formulate the words to show how you've grown in your career versus just, complaining about it. So that's okay. So this part is key. When I tell you that this changed how I interviewed, when I figured out this skill and it helped me ace interviews after this, it is life-changing. This is a life-changing skill when it comes to interviewing in your career. So here it is. There are 3 parts to an answer when you're answering an interview question. And here is the skill that you should always make sure you're using. You want to make sure you answer the question in 3 parts. Give them a scenario that you have an example from your notebook. So give this scenario. The second part is tell what your part was in that scenario. So what did you do? How did you contribute? What was your role? The third part is key. What was the end result? And obviously, the end result needs to be positive. It needs to be a good end result. So from your example, from your preparation from the night before, you're going to pull examples from your notebook that help you answer the interview question. So when they say, tell me about a time when this, or give me an example of when this happened, or have you ever dealt with X, Y, and Z? You pull an example from your notebook and you tell them, here's what happened. Here's the scenario. Here's my part in it. Here's what I did. And here was the end result. And these examples don't always have to be individual contributions. They can be team contributions. But even if they're team scenarios and team examples, what was your part in that team effort? And what was the end result that you had a contribution to that result turning out the way that it did? So that's how you answer an interview question. You give the answer directly to the recruiter or hiring manager so that they don't have to try to search through all the words that you said to see if you answered the question or not. You simply tell them, here's what happened, here's what I did and what my part was in that story, and here's the end result, and you will ace that interview. I'm telling you, you'll walk out of that interview either knowing that they're going to call and offer you the job, or they're going to call and offer you a second interview. So I'm telling you, friends, that's how you prepare for an interview. You first be in expectation, print the job description, go ahead and get your interview outfits and things together. And then once that time comes, once you get the call to come in for an interview, you take that job description, you take your notebook, and you start working out your examples of times that you have completed what they're asking for on the job description. You find that in your resume and you start preparing those examples. And then when it comes to the interview, you answer the questions with those 3 points within your answer. What happened, what you did, and what the end result was. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Please click that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if it was helpful. Please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear any questions or concerns that you have when it comes to preparing for an interview. I'll be happy to assist and help you with that. And then join me next week as I'll be giving you more HR tips to help you grow in your career.